All right, Leo, this is your December 2020 love forecast. We're going to pull from the Romance Angels deck, one card for you, one card for your love interest, and then we're going to clarify with the Tarot. Let's take a look at what's happening in the sky for you. All right. So the sun is in your 5th house of romance. So you might be getting it on, Leo. It's time for fun and games. The 5th house is ruled by Leo, so that's you. So the sun does very well here. It's going to be in Sag for at least until December 21st, until it moves into Capricorn. So this is always an exciting time. But at the same time, we're in the middle of COVID, and Jupiter, which rules Sagittarius right now, is sitting in Capricorn, and it's at its fall position. So things could be a little bit damper, not the typical Christmas joy, but that doesn't mean love can't be found there, especially in the 5th house. It's also the house of children and investments, so keep an eye on those themes. Venus right now is sitting one sign behind the sun in Scorpio, where it's going to be until December 15th. Venus is at its detriment in Scorpio, so, this could go one of two ways, right? So you could meet someone that kind of bewitches your senses because Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. It can be great passion, great attraction. You might have a new bedroom buddy, who knows? Or you might just be turning up the spice in your current partnership. But sitting in that 4th house, you're probably reviewing the foundation of your relationships right now. 4th house rules Cancer, it rules emotion, family. So family could be getting in the way if you're taking care of family during this pandemic. So, there's different ways this can play out. But Venus is going to move into your 5th house on December 15th, right around the time of the solar eclipse. So there's a lot happening with the moons right now, a lot happening with the sun, with the solar eclipse on the 14th, Venus changing signs on the 15th. And those are all making harmonious aspects to you, Leo. Those are trining energies. But again, I want to mention right now Venus is at its detriment, and the ruler of Sagittarius right now is at its fall position in Capricorn. So things are going to be a little bit damp, but the planets are going to be moving very shortly. So let's talk. Let's pull 2 cards for you. Let's see what comes up here. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So that's kind of Plutonian, right? Pluto rules the underworld. Scorpio can be very secretive at times. So, those are very 8th house themes coming up right now. Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. Interesting card. Calling in a soulmate, doing some manifesting, huh? All right, so let's make sure that we're calling in the right soulmate, right? Leo, I mean, that's the biggest thing. You don't want someone that's not going to be there forever. Or maybe you do. It depends on what it is you're looking for. If you're just looking for someone to warm your bed, so what, right? Sorry. We already pulled those. My fault. So I'm going to pull some tarot. I do want to mention, though, when I look at these cards together, deception and calling your soulmate, Venus and Pluto has this ability to bring in what I like to call star-crossed lovers or stepping stone soulmates. And they're usually there to teach you a lesson about intimacy, passion, romance, whatever that might be, especially with the Pluto-Venus sextile there and being in the house of Pluto. So, I just want to say, be careful and give it some time. You'll probably have more information once Venus leaves Scorpio, which is in a couple weeks here. So I'd say just maybe give it a little bit of time and we'll see what happens. The deception card is always a little freaky, but it might not be anything too bad, but we're going to check. Let's check the tarot. That's just bad shuffling on my part, but that's okay. I'll give this one more. Yeah, let's just take a quick look here. All right. This is Leo. Leo sun, rising, moon, and Venus. So let's take a look, huh? Five of Wands, the Empress, Ace of Swords, Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, that's a good one. Seven of Wands, and the Devil. So just so you know, I don't read reversals on this particular channel. The meanings are pretty clear with love. So let's take a look at this. It's interesting stuff, Leo. So you have the Deception card first, right? And then you have the Empress sitting right underneath it. So, you know, the Empress is the divine feminine. That is Venus, so to speak. So I think it's calling your attention to these 8th house matters. The Empress really is divine in her own right. And she's got the pomegranates on her dress. So she represents fertility, but you may be having some issues with fertility, just with Venus being in that 8th house, and maybe you're finding that out now. I'm just kind of getting that message. Maybe a doctor told someone that they were going to be pregnant, and it turns out they're not. Because right now we have the Five of Wands right next to the Empress, and that's fighting. That's competition of some type. So maybe you were battling to get pregnant, and maybe it's been a hard battle to get here, and there's been a little bit of underhandedness involved in this for some reason, or maybe you're not revealing that there is a pregnancy and you're not sure who the other person might be, the father, or vice versa. Assign genders as you will. Could be a male acting like the Empress sitting on the throne, right? But there's definitely clarity here, because right underneath the Empress, or clarity is coming in, is the Ace of Swords. So that is the clarity of thought card. So maybe, you know, maybe you have some clarifying thoughts coming in here about what to do. But it's definitely something to do with fertility, because you have Venus sitting in that 5th house right now. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant, or maybe you're just trying to be the Empress here. You know, she's seductive. Maybe you're just wanting to have a baby, and it's been a battle. And on the other side here, you have calling in your soulmate, right? The divine feminine is making her appearance. I mean, that's really what it could be. And again, I use the word feminine, but really it has to do with that nurturing energy that we all crave. So it could be very well a man that's being the Empress. That's not beyond the realm of possibility, right? All right, so calling your soulmate in, again, right next to the Ten of Pentacles. You want it all. I mean, Leo, we know you. You want your pentacles. You want a hot spouse. You want to be a little bit flashy about it, and that's the Ten of Pentacles. Like, that is what you're trying to manifest here, and you're trying to create that. And I feel like that you're just battling it. You're trying to be the Empress, and you're just battling it with that Five of Wands. And right underneath it is again, kind of a battle card, right? Like, this is the Seven of Wands, and this is the man standing his ground and saying, no, this is what I want. I feel like that's you, right? You're holding your ground with someone and just saying, listen, this is what I want. You promised me this. Maybe, you know, it's the other person promising you to be the Empress or Empress-like energy, and you're just not getting it. You keep fighting it. But you're maintaining your standards. I mean, you're trying to, at least, but you're dealing with the devil here. Some toxic energy that's got to go, or it's a toxic thought. Toxic enemies, they just got to go. And this is definitely a time of letting go, right? You know, on the other hand, the devil represents Capricorn. We just talked about Capricorn. Venus, the god of love, the Empress here, is making a whole bunch of sextiles over to those planets in Capricorn. You know, we have the Lovers sitting right here with the devil, which I always find is very interesting, because the lesson with the devil always has to do with control of some type. Those chains on the Lovers, you know, that could very well be some type of control issue, addiction, some type of toxic pattern that you keep going through, and you keep holding your ground. Essentially, that's what these two cards say to me, at least. Seven of Wands and the devil, holding your ground for that higher calling, what you truly want in love, and you're having clarity of thought. Ace of Swords, clarity of thought, what you want. and what you're willing to fight for and what you're willing to let go. The devil at the end of the day wants you to let something go. And as soon as you do that, you move on to the next progression, the next cycle. The devil's a hard one. We have some massive Capricorn energies. We have Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter sitting at the very end of Capricorn. Those last degrees are crusty AF, right? So getting through it, and they all move out of Capricorn, those planets, at least Saturn and Jupiter, by December 21st, so the winter solstice. That's right around the time of the eclipse. So you're letting something go for sure. A toxic situation has to go for sure. But you keep calling in that soulmate. So we're going to pull one more card for the general energy, just to see what the outcome is. Yeah, Queen of Swords. She sits on top of the throne, knowing exactly what she wants. She makes that decision, and that sword comes down hard. You're making a decision here, Leo. Calling in that soulmate energy, fighting off toxic situations, and having clarity of thought, and not letting the wool be pulled over your eyes. The lion is always hunting the sheep. Remember that. You're a Leo. At the end of the day, you will sniff out deception. And that's exactly what the Queen does. All right, Leo, if you want a personal reading, be sure you check out my email below. I'm taking personal readings right now. I hope you enjoy this, and we'll talk to you next time.